Hi, my name is Ken Brainey, and I'm the chair of the SPE European Thermoforming Division. These interviews have been recorded on behalf of the SPE Thermoforming Division in the USA. Today's guest is Jeremy Howard of FAERCH. Jeremy, it's a pleasure to meet you, and thanks for you coming to join me in this discussion today.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Ken.
And you. To get started, could you please explain your company and what you do in your company?
Yeah, certainly. FAERCH is a leading manufacturer of recycled plastic packaging, primarily for the food industry. I run a site in GB. I'm the site director for the Sutton facility. It's a plant with 3 extrusion lines and 35 thermoforming lines.
My goodness, that's a lot of thermoforming. When you talk about you produce on the thermoforming, what are they? Packaging? What sort of thing are you actually producing?
We're producing pots, cups, and lids, primarily for the food industry. We also produce accumulation trays. So we're getting into dairy quite a lot at the moment. So we do the yogurt pots that you see in the supermarkets, both singles and the larger pots. We make the accumulation tray they go in, and we also make the lid where they have a lid on them. Okay. We make trays for biscuits, and we make plastic pots that your olives and your hummus are in the supermarkets.
Yeah. And what sort of materials are you using these days?
This site is purely an APET site, although we do have PP and CPET facilities in GB as well. PP's done down in Poole on the south coast, and CPET's done up in Durham at our facility there.
One of the things that is interesting a lot of people is that we're actually talking to David Hartley shortly, and then in the next couple of days, of Rhombus, and I gather that he is a supplier to you of certain equipment. Can you tell me why you picked a Rhombus and what is equipment you're using which is important to you?
Yeah, we have a performance management system run off the back of the extruders and the thermoforming machines, both here and up in Durham. Rhombus is it allows us to track our performance by machine centre. When you've got 35 thermoforming machines, it's very difficult to record that and analyse it on a paper-based system. So each machine is linked up to the Rhombus system, and we're able to track its performance not only through the day but over weeks, months, and we can cut the data depending on what element of performance we want to look at. So is it run time, is it changeover times, is it OEE, is it wastage? All of that information is held within Rhombus, and we can analyse it by machine centre, or indeed for the whole site.
Okay. And are they the only ones in the field, or are they just the best of the competitors? What is the reason why you picked Rhombus itself?
I don't know. It's run off the site SCADA system. I mean, I come from a background of soft drinks where my previous employer was a SAP house, and everything we had was SAP. Okay. What I would say is Rhombus has very similar functionality to that you get from SAP MII, which comes at a much greater cost. SAP MII installation invariably runs into 7 figures.
The other thing I wanted to talk to you about was the current situation with the pandemic and so on, how it's affected you, and what changes it's made you have to employ and that sort of thing. Can you give some sort of background since it started, a year ago, 18 months ago now? It's been going on for so long now.
Yeah, obviously the first impact you have as a supplier with different channels, different sales channels, some picked up and some dropped off. So you find that your product mix changes dramatically. The start of the pandemic, you were very, very focused on your labour, making sure that you had the right amount of labour within the site, and also that you were ensuring that everybody was safe and that you were following the social distancing rules. As we move away from labour and then into materials, what we've found certainly is the pandemic has moved on, and the world economies have started to open up. It's a very, very different market that you're purchasing your raw materials in, due to the change in consumer behaviour. So if you think about rPET, a lot of your rPET will come from baled bottles, single-use bottles. What has happened is that there's fewer people out and about buying single-use bottles.
Yeah.
It's the bulk packs that are selling for the big soft drinks businesses, and so that the availability of clean baled bottles has reduced, and so you found that there's been quite a bit of price inflation across Europe and I believe globally on rPET, as other supply businesses such as the Virgin market. You've also seen a number of force majeures across that, and it's been a very, very difficult period for businesses to source the raw materials. You've got to be very fleet of foot in order to ensure continuity. We're very fortunate on this site in that we've always managed to have a strong supply, and that's not affected our ability to manufacture customer demands. The other unusual changes we've seen is around corrugate card. So we pack everything into boxes, which and palletized, and the corrugate market, as everybody's moved to internet shopping, and we've seen that a very strong year from Amazon. That's affected the whole corrugate market. There's more demand than supply in GB currently.
So does it mean that your costs have gone up accordingly?
Yes, we've seen some cost inflation, yes.
Yeah. And what about, does that, in fact, are you getting any support from your your customer, or is it something you just got to live with?
It's different by customer, but invariably you've got your customer contracts allow you to pass on some of that cost, if not all of it.
Okay. One of the things that is quite highlighted at this conference that's coming up is smart technology. And other than the rhombus, any other smart technology that you've taken on in the last couple of years that you're taking on for the future? How do you see today, and also how you see the future in using smart technology?
I think we're integrating more with regard to material movements around the site. We're bringing more and more into the ERP system on the site. It's not really smart technology, but you're always looking at automation, more automation around packing, and more automation around vehicles. Yeah.
So I was thinking more on the fact that with all the costs that are going, labour costs, of course, are one of the key issues. And are you replacing labour with mechanical means these days? I mean, this seems to be one of the things I'm seeing elsewhere, that people are saying we don't necessarily need as many people working on the shop floor as we did before, and therefore we're going to do this or do that, which will actually reduce the amount of labour involved.
Yeah, FAERCH has a strong history of automation. We have a number of robotic packers on this site on the back of thermoforming, and I think that is something that will just grow. We're also we have automated guided vehicles within the group, and that is another area. I think as the cost of technology comes down, the capex payback looks more and more attractive for things like AGVs.
So can I say thanks, Jeremy, and I appreciate your conversation today. Thank you.
Thanks, Ken.